Many of you have been to our meetings, and the reason why you see the entire board here, because we really feel we're at a tipping point. If you know, when you take a peek back in terms of our numbers, the average number of our increases, I think we've been very mindful of the economic conditions and taken and addressed those issues very directly and honestly. Always trying to leave teachers in the classroom. We took a few years ago, we did early retirement. We really reduced that. We've been negotiating each year all of our contracts. The efficiency rate of the use of our money, I think, you know, for what's you know, we do use comparisons, and it does say that we use our dollar very wisely. At the end of the year, we have been an opportunity to return money back to the city, because the way things evolve in a school budget, much different than a municipal budget, there are variances within that happen. Special education occurs, students move in and out. Our mobility rate, that you've heard us talk about this, is up to 39%, not only across the district, but up and down the district. Our poverty rate's gone from 50%, from 32% a few years ago, to 50% now, to one school that's at 70%. So, you know, and one of the biggest predictors of need for more time for kids in order to achieve basic skills, which is a focus for us, has been their SES, or their economic status, more than ethnicity or anything else. That's not any great revelation to all of us. So the budget that we've had the last few years, quite frankly, we've reduced to the point where I've asked for 5.09%. At that time, it was the best guesstimate I had at that time. I called Colleen and asked what she would like for tonight. We have some updates on the numbers, but in that, one of the largest drivers that we have, obviously, has been our personnel. 82% of our budget is made up of personnel. The other 18% of it, although it seems to be discretionary, isn't when you look at transportation, utilities, and the rest. So we've asked the principals, you know, what they need in their schools. Obviously, the board's focus and their focus is going to make sure we have our classrooms staffed correctly. So we're looking at staffing. The other thing is we're one of a few districts in this sector of the state, if not quadrant or half, that's growing. And these aren't just demographers talking. These kids are coming in our building each and every day, and our enrollment's going up, leading to, that you're going to be talking, I think, to the mayor pretty soon about doing some additions onto the buildings. I mean, so, you know, they're there. So all of this coming together has put us in a position to ask for the kind of budget increases that we're asking. The first part of that budget is just moving things forward, focusing our core programs, just what we do every day, our business of, you know, going in, making sure there's materials in the classroom, and having our teachers working with our students. We're trying to keep our class sizes. We've increased class sizes. That's not just here in Danbury, but it seems to be across the country. As budgets go down, class sizes go up. We're not any different than that. Our class sizes, our K-1 is about, we're trying to stay at 22, although that's, in its pure sense, we have some that may run less, we have some that run more. At the upper level, from 3 on, we're at 25, in some cases 27, 28. You know, we're dealing with that. At the secondary level, we have classes that keep the high school comprehensive. Some people will say, well, why do you only have 18 in that classroom, 30 now? Well, sometimes it's the third or the last sequence of a course. Students are entitled to making sure that's there, whether it's in AB, BC calculus, whether it's in kinesiology or physics, whatever it is, we're offering that third in the sequence for kids. The board's also redefined what kids ought to be doing at the secondary level. Instead of just shotgunning through selection, the board has narrowed their focus so the kids are taking more of a science, mathematics, more of an academic path. That's increased some of our more expensive courses, which happens to be in the sciences. Kids are taking labs now. So all of that is playing havoc in here with our budget. But, you know, again, what we have been trying to do is reduce that, and I think we've been doing that. We have been working with our consultants and trying to reduce the numbers in the benefit package. And I think at this point, even though the reflection in here is that we've been able to reduce that somewhat. We met with the constituents last week, or 2 weeks ago. They're coming back next week to see if they can redefine that number so that we can reduce it further. The part of the budget that takes care of that is called the maintenance budget, just moving it forward. If you look at the budget after that, then you can see that it is a budget that's reflective of the enrollment increases and any of the, let me just change page for you. It's on the third page. So you see a maintenance budget, then you see a budget that says enrollment increases and state mandates. That's our bilingual students. We need to add some elementary teachers. We need some more staffing at the middle school, and you can see the sciences at the secondary school, which is about $500,000 in order to do that. So the value added part of our budget is about 6.1%, just over 0.5%. In here as well, the last few years, for the past 4 years, we've taken the Obama bus, they call it. The last amount of money that we've taken has been the $1.2 million that we spread over 2 years. That's the jobs fund. That was not money that was squandered away. People said, well, why'd you use it? Well, that just kept the reliance on the city municipal budget that much lower. We agreed it was better to do that, to put these teachers into the classroom and see what happened as the economy improves. Well, it hasn't improved to the point that we wanted to, and unless the enrollment went down, we needed to have these folks. In fact, we needed to have them plus more for the coming year that we're increasing our enrollment. So in our enrollment increases in state mandate, you see it increases another 0.61% above the maintenance budget. The value-added budget is really simple. You're in a school district in need of improvement. Hartford is looking at Danbury in terms of our achievement levels. We think that the teachers doing a marvelous job in getting some growth, but there are more things that they need to do. You've been hearing a lot about the reform that Malloy is putting together. What he's talking about basically is, in the past, time has been a constant. It's been 180 days, and achievement has been a variable. It's kind of the inverse of that. Now, achievement is the constant, and time has to be the variable. So we're saying that no matter what you do, we want kids to achieve at a certain level. And we know to get these youngsters there, we need more time. And in this budget, you see something that says safe harbor intervention. They are folks that are doubling up time, extending time for students who need remediation, and in some cases, extension. Bill talks with his staff very plainly. We have a 10-month school year, and we're trying to get 14 months worth of growth, and we just can't do that without adding more time. These are very capable kids with gaps in their learning, and we need to give them more time. So this value added is simply saying we need to put in the budget some things that are going to assist us. The other part of this that you may have some questions, you're listening to the governor saying he's putting $50 million in education. He's taking about $40 million in identifying the content of schools, about 20 districts that are in need of improvement. We are one of those 20 districts. There's about $39.5 million coming to those districts. Danbury is in a position through an application process, an improvement process, that can realize about $2.2 million of added revenue in ECS. But that's only going to be predicated on an application that we apply of closing the achievement gap, of which Connecticut has the distinction of having the largest number one variable between achievement and the achievement gap throughout the country. We're number one in that. Consequently, they're saying, here's some more resources, provide us an opportunity for districts and towns to see if you can mitigate that gap. So the value added here, although it is pretty short here, you will see it's generated differently as we start learning more about this reform. We've been meeting with the mayor. We met today. We met this afternoon. We've talked on the phone. We're trying to put the town in a position to maximize its fund while keeping an eye on the economic conditions. And that's a reality that we're faced with.